If you've been listening to my Jasmy calls, you would have been up more than 650% on this trade, and you've actually would have saved 15% because we've already began to move to the downside. Jasmy has a massive potential in 2024, and that's why in today's video, I'm going to be going over Jasmy coin, and we're going to be going over all of my trades for Jasmy coin that I've been continuously telling you about, and we'll go over some potential price predictions for this year. Make sure to smash the like, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the notification bell. The absolute first thing that we can see on Jasmy on the weekly chart, let's delete everything off and I'll explain to you as I've been explaining in the past. Back here, I noticed when we were smashing off of this 20 exponential moving average, we actually made three major trend bars, 1, 2, and 3. A trend bar is actually based when the overall bar compared to the entire candle, this part is the actual bar. When you compare it to the wick, it's at least 60% of the overall candle. It's at least 60% of the overall candle. So this bar takes up a mass majority of this overall candle. And also right here, this body takes up a mass majority of this candle with only a small wick on the bottom and a small wick on the top. Overall, this is a trend bar. And also if we super scroll in to this small bar right here, this is also a trend bar because it has a very small wick to the upside, very small wick to the downside, but the overall body of this bar is a majority of the bar. Whereas with this one right here, we cannot say that. We can see the wick is quite large and the body is quite large. Overall, it's 50-50. This is a doji candle. Right here is where we have the trend bar. So my one-to-one measured move strategy actually goes from the bottom of the first trend bar to the top of the first trend bar, but only the bar, not including the wick. So we can see that now encapsulates the big three movements of the trend. We then get a representation of that. We Control-C, Control-V to actually get a copy of that. And all we do is now extend it up. That's the one-to-one move extension. So we've got the one-to-one measured move, and now we extend it up. So we now start it from the bottom, and we then extend it all the way to the upside. Now, what this tells us is it actually gives us a price target in the market. Once price actually reaches this point, it's going to be an extremely strong level to actually get out in the market. And look at what's happened right now. As soon as Jasmy came right into this price, as I was talking about in the last video, the price was right around this point and we hadn't quite touched. And I was telling you that I was getting ready for my trade. As soon as we touched, I'd be getting out a large portion of my position because I know this one-to-one measured move is going to really strongly act in the market. And look at what's happened. As soon as we hit this move, we're already down 12.5%. And if we count from the all-time high of this move, we're actually down nearly 15%. So you would have saved yourself 15% if you listen to my position. If you have a $100,000 trading position, you're already down $10,000 if you didn't sell where I told you. So you can see how it can overall save you a lot of money. The next position that I'm actually looking at, because I got out a good portion of my position, I'm not out of Jasmy coin 100%, but I knew that this would be a portion that I want to sell out of. I want to take profits, and then I'm going to use those profits and actually roll them in at a lower price. Reason being is I do know that now we actually have another potential price target actually in this region right here, because we actually do have a bit of a support to resistance flip. Initially, we did have resistance in this level, resistance, but when we do get this breakup right through here, we've had the major breakup, and now it looks like after we've done the one-to-one measured move, we're going to get a bit of a rejection down. And where would be a perfect level to actually get in? If you see the exponential moving average does something like this, this would be one of the perfect levels. So you give yourself a couple of bars to actually come down here, and this would be the perfect entry. Not only would this coincide with the 20 exponential moving average, and we'd be buying back at the average price, as you know, and I always explain, want to be buying low at the average price, want to be buying low at the average price, low at the average price, and look for big extensions away from the average price. This is always what I'm teaching in my technical analysis masterclass. So you can see I've got out really good portion of my position. I'm now looking to re-enter that portion of the position back in, rather than keeping my position all the way up here. I can actually save myself something like 45%, and then I can reaccumulate basically 45% more coins. Because let's say I exited $100 at this range, I'll be buying back in with those $100, but that $100 will buy me 45% more tokens. So then when we do move back from here all the way up to here, I won't then have 100, might have 200 or even $300 because I was able to accumulate even more tokens on the way down. So right here, I'm extremely happy on my Jasmy coin position. It made a lot of sense as well, because when you scroll out, You can see on this left-hand side, we do have another support to resistance flip. This level clearly acting as a support to resistance flip because we came down absolutely out of nowhere, absolutely fell into this price, and then we jumped. Look at this price move that we definitely had in the market. We moved from this low at 4 cents all the way up to this 35-cent range. That's an 800% move. So it's clear that this level in the market had some type of significance. And then what happened? We had the major break below this level. Initially, this was the level, but we had the major break right through here. That's absolutely fine. But then when price decided to make an upside push, why did it reject in this area? It's got the support. It's now acting as resistance because we got the breakdown. That's why I understood this level as a support to resistance flip. And when we scroll over to the right, we can see this level now acting as that support to resistance flip. Not only did we have the one-to-one measured move in the market telling us that roughly in this zone, draw it roughly again, that we wanted to be getting out. So not only do we have a confluence in this zone, we've got two completely separate strategies, both telling us that this could be an extremely good level to actually get out in the market. And you can see that's exactly what happened when we have these confluence zones. I've been trading for way too long and I've been seeing these trading patterns over and over and over again. And all it is a probabilistic game. You see these patterns over and over again. And of course, they don't have a 100% chance of success. But when you know that the probability is very high, you understand how to set your risk to reward, and you have a positive trader's equation on each and every trade, well, that sets you up for true long-term success, especially when we're long-term trading the weekly chart on a lot of these coins. It makes a lot of sense to use this strategy. As I'm always speaking about these support to resistance level flips, the next zone that I'm truly focusing on in the market is this zone right in here, because we did have an initial support, initially broke down through this level. If we come to this bar, we did come back, support off this level, came back, rejected right here, and then made that continuation to the downside. So there is now here another clear support to resistance level flip. It actually lines up with about that 7 to 7.5% mark in the market. We can look even from our current price point, that would put it nearly a 100% gain. But overall, when we're looking to gain back at this overall exponential moving average, potentially puts us on another 200% gain to the upside type of trade. And these type of trades, we're only looking to really hold and swing. So these are going to be some type of short-term trading when we are using the weekly, but actually catching them more on the daily and 4-hourly chart to really quickly make 100 to 200% gains to the upside. You can see how we're actually rolling these profits in. What will actually happen is, because if we sold all up in this level, we basically save 43% on our position, and that 43% will overall make us a lot more because we saved on our position. We bought back all those coins, but a lot more at a lot cheaper price. And then we use those coins and gaining back to the upside of that 200%. You can see, and you will understand that continuously gains like this and actually selling out and then rebuying back, reselling out, rebuying back. When you understand where these support to resistance level flips are going to be the best way in the market, you might have been thinking, why am I selling out at 4.5 cents when I know that Jasmy can easily get to 7, and I know that Jasmy even can get up to this 15-cent range potential. Well, I understand technical analysis. I'm using these short-term trading signals to actually accumulate more tokens, and when I'm able to accumulate more tokens, when we come back and then make even more gains, actually I'm accumulating more gains overall and rolling them into the next coins. So you can see how I'm continuously actually using and rolling the gains into the next trade, and continuously. What we will look at in future videos is this level right through here, and even this level right through here, potentially going to act as another support to resistance flip. You would have seen in last video, I actually did talk about the inflation of Jasmy. Actually, next year will be the final inflation year. We do usually see a 3.5% increase in the actual token amount, but it will be capped. And it's right now coming very close to that capped amount. So it could see that now that the overall capped amount and no more inflation will come into the coin, but because of the previous inflation, and there has been so much inflation in the past, it does put it a little bit less likely for Jasmy to push above this 35-cent range, to even push in this dollar range, because right now that's basically giving it nearly a 25x, a 20x in the market to make it back to this dollar range. Now, what type of probability do we want to put on that trade? I'd rather be looking and continuously swinging these trades, selling out at 4.5, buying back at 2.5, selling out at 7.5, buying back at 5, then selling out of that 15, 20, 25 range, and you just continuously actually trading and using these short-term signals that I'm teaching you in my advanced technical analysis masterclass that you can find in the video description. If you've enjoyed today's video on Jasmy Coin, make sure to smash the like, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the notification bell to stay up to date with all of the latest YouTube videos, and I'll see you in the next video.